Update 2 on Typhoon Usagi, Philippine name Odette, currently with wind speeds of 105 miles per hour, intensifying fairly quickly at this time, with a pressure of 956 millibars, deepening fairly quickly as well. Position 17.2 degrees north, 128.6 degrees east, which was the east of the Philippines, moving towards the west-northwest. That's expected over the next 3 or 4 days, passing in between the Philippines and Taiwan, possibly as a strong Category 4 storm, and then moving towards the west, brushing the coast of China, maybe moving inland as well, as a typhoon, a fairly strong one at that as well, forecasted. Signal 1 warnings currently in effect for northern Luzon in the Philippines. Those are likely to be raised very soon to Signal 2, maybe even beyond, as the storm draws nearer, and we'll probably see some warnings on Taiwan as well, especially for heavy rain, but we'll probably see some strong winds as well, especially the further south you go in Taiwan and the further north you go on the island of Luzon in the Philippines. So there's the probability percentages of tropical storm conditions, very high in between those two, and the probabilities of typhoon conditions as well, fairly high as well, especially in southern Taiwan. We'll probably see some typhoon conditions occurring there, especially if the storm moves further north than anticipated. It could even be a landfall. That's still a possibility. So certainly something to watch there. So the sea surface temperatures right now, you can see are fairly high, around 28, 29 degrees, maybe even 1 or 2 areas of 30 degrees Celsius waters in between where it is now and Taiwan. Beyond that, a little bit cooler, but still enough to sustain itself. The CMC modelling, you can see how it has it just south of Taiwan, moving towards the west, staying off the coast of China, and then dipping towards the southwest, making a possible landfall on Hainan as a significantly weakened system. It also had another storm forming towards the east as well, I believe. The GFS model also has the storm moving towards the south of Taiwan, just clipping the southern tip of Taiwan, and then moving towards the west, moving inland over China as well, not too far from Hong Kong, and then dipping towards the south at the very end towards Hainan. So this is the latest satellite imagery. Then you can see an eye fairly clearly visible there, moving towards the southwest at this time, so a bit of a southwest jog going on there, but the forecast does call for it to move towards the west-northwest generally over the next few days. All the while intensifying, which is what it has done over the past few hours. Definitely deepened rather quickly in a 6-hour period, going from a 75 mile per hour typhoon, Category 1, to what it is right now, 105 miles per hour, Category 2, and we could well see further intensification. That's certainly on the cards over the next few days. You can see on these loops here, not too much in the way of dry air intruding into its area as well, so certainly a moist environment for the storm to work with right now, and I believe wind shear isn't too high in the area either. So the world tropics then, you can see what's going on right now. Manuel has also pulled off a similar stunt in intensification, fairly strong now, 70 miles per hour. Hurricane warnings in effect there, video following very soon. Invest 95, which is likely to form as it moves into the southern Gulf of Mexico. Tropical storm Humberto still going, and also tropical depression 18W, which is currently moving inland over Vietnam right now. We also have an Invest 98W right now as well, just to the east of the Mariana Islands, and obviously Manuel there on the other side, which regenerated in the past 24 hours, hugging the coast of Mexico right now. So this is 2013 compared. It's the 15th tropical storm, the 5th typhoon, and 2 Category 3 storms so far. This could well be the 3rd of the year, as the case may be. That's certainly a likelihood at this time, but hasn't happened just yet. So it's the 69th busiest season on record, but also the 2nd least busiest in the 70-year record. But it overtook 2010 with that last storm, and well on the way to getting up that table with the next few storms that are likely to form in the next 10 days or so. You can track this storm at the website force13.com/stormtracking.html. That's the main page for all the information on the storms. You're presented with the overview map there with all the storms laid out on there, including post-tropical storms and invests, especially if they're threatening areas, any land areas. And you can also find us elsewhere on the web, Facebook and Twitter. Just search Force 13 on either of those. You should find us fairly easily enough. And as always, wherever you're watching this, please do show your support if you can by doing the usual means of engagement, by doing the liking, subscribing on YouTube, commenting as well if you're watching on the YouTube. If you have any questions, I will answer them as best I can, and any positive comments are very much appreciated as always. And of course, stay safe out there with this possibly ferocious storm bearing down on some areas. Taiwan and the Philippines in particular is the main focus right now, but China, Hong Kong, Macau and other areas of China, other areas of southern China eventually could be seeing some typhoon conditions occurring. But the next update on this storm will probably occur at around afternoon on Thursday, September 19th. That's around 3 PM UTC probably, but until then, that's all for now.